The opinions expressed on the Custody Queen Show are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for personal, professional legal advice. The persons discussed are fictional and not based on actual clients.
Thought it was love, had kids in between. You can count on us, we're the Custody Queens. Yeah, you can count on us, we're the Custody Queens.
It is Saturday. We are back, Go Country, and we are super excited to have you guys and spend the next 30 minutes with you. Today we have Amy Richardson from Richardson RV, and she's going to tell everyone why they should go buy an RV. I'm just kidding. But we're going to get to know Amy, and she's not opposed to that. The first time I met Amy, I told her that I have driven by her RV lot on the 15 many times.
Yes.
And my husband would get afraid that I was just going to pull in and buy one because, you know, I do that sometimes. But we will get into what Amy does, what her company does, how you can buy an RV, what the benefits are, and anything else Amy wants to share with us today. So welcome.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So I think we should do the book of CQ. What do you think?
Yeah, let's put her on the spot.
All right.
We just get real dirty real quick.
The book of CQ, for anyone new out there listening, is just a very beautiful pink book of a million questions. So Kristen and I like to use this to make everyone feel awkward.
I love the pink.
Welcome. Right? I think it's duct tape, but it's cute.
It's okay. Pink is good.
All right, so I'm going to pick a question here.
Make it an easy one.
Oh, this one's really hard.
Okay.
Okay, what is the most useless talent that you have?
I don't have many talents, guys, to be honest.
Okay.
So, probably... Okay, so I can fold my tongue in half. Like, you know how you can do taco tongue?
That's not useless.
Well, I'm not talking taco tongue here.
Okay.
It like folds the other way. It goes down the middle.
All right, so let's see it. Okay, that's
nice.
That's rare.
It's rare, pretty useless, now taco tongue, you know, that's a thing, but as far as folding in half in the middle, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, that's I don't
That's
think
a useless
That's a
talent.
great question, actually.
yeah, I feel like I think I asked one of our guests that question too, and it's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a good awkward one. Good job, Sam.
Thank you.
What's your useless talent?
Whoa, I have a lot. Well, I mean, many people wouldn't think this is useless, and I don't, but I'm a big crocheter, so I love to crochet. I think that's an absolute and unequivocal talent. I can tell you that my mom has a really good talent. It's killing flies.
Yeah, my husband's good at that too. But that's not useless. That's good.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Well,
like my husband thinks he's Mr. Miyagi and literally
gets
him, and then he'll run upstairs and show me.
I actually think my mom could just, like, if a fly was going by, I think my mom could take her 2 fingers and squeeze and kill the fly. Like, there's something with her and flies. Like,
I see a reality show coming out of this.
Yeah. What about you?
I have many talents, but I think a useless talent I have is I'm really good at conducting my 5 robots to clean my house. It's a talent because you got to make sure the water tanks are filled. You can't have 2 on the same path because then they'll bump. You know, and if you want your downstairs mopped and your upstairs vacuumed before you get home from work, you have to make sure that they're all placed in the right areas.
Oh, I got another one. I don't know that this is useless. I think it's actually really important. I've been playing Pac-Man a lot online, and there is a Pac-Man game that you can play on Nintendo Switch where you play against 99 people in the room, and it's the last one out wins. And several times. I'm top 10 always.
Oh,
so
I'm
can't you
horrible
make big money playing games nowadays?
I think I need to start calling myself a gamer. I think I need to set something up.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I am horrible at Pac-Man, but I'm really good at all the new Dr. Mario Dr. Mario is the virus one, you know, kind of like Tetris. I'm really good at that. I can beat level 20. But the Super Mario World, I'm really good at because I go and watch YouTube videos on where all the secret coins are.
So, you know, if you get the
I'm a secret gamer too, a little bit.
If you get the Nintendo Switch,
I have it.
you can unlock all the old games.
Really?
So you can get for free. So you can get
I didn't know
Earthworm
that.
Jim, like
Okay, I'm gonna bring you. I'm gonna
Mario
bring you.
Tennis.
Oh,
old
that
school
would be
Mario
awesome.
Tennis.
Yeah,
like
'cause now the
old
do-
school racing. Yeah, you just like. For anyone out there listening, no, you go to like their app store in the Nintendo Switch, and we had no idea that you could do this.
Yeah.
But you go to the app store and you click on it, and you can download like the old Sega, old
Oh, wow.
Super Mario,
Wow.
Nintendo 64, and play all of the games.
Yeah, because the new Dr. Marios, they're not as cool, in my opinion, as Mario World 1, 2, and 3.
I was major Earthworm Jim vibes as a child.
And I love Donkey Kong too.
Yeah.
You know? But I remember when my dad and I would play, this was like the regular Nintendo back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Him and I would play Friday nights. That was our thing. We would get junk food and we would play Nintendo. And I would always fall asleep. But when he saved the princess, he literally went and woke me up to show me the
Yeah.
screen that he saved the princess.
It's hysterical.
So,
It's fabulous.
That's a great memory.
you know, random fact. So,
Awesome. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so Amy, tell us a little bit about your business.
We are a family-run business in Southern California. Actually, Richardson has had its name in business since 1969
It's amazing.
in Riverside. Crazy, right? So my father started in business and raised my brothers. I have 2 brothers and myself in Riverside. And born and raised and went to school and high school, and my brothers partnered into the business, and I was a stay-at-home mommy for a while, and once the kids got a little older, came into the business. And my big joke is always, when I was younger, my brothers would pay me to clean their rooms. Now they pay me to clean their office. So,
Exactly.
it's just the family dynamic never changes.
I get questions often from listeners of what's it like to work with family, and I think you would agree. It has its ups and downs, and it's challenging, but you learn how to navigate the family dynamic.
Yeah.
But
And there's
it's not for the
something
faint of
huge-
heart.
No, there's something huge to be said when family can work together,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's a great support system to have too. So, there's obviously the dynamics involved, but I always think it is so amazing when you see a family-run business that has been in business for so long. It means that you're doing something right.
So you have the lot on the 15. Where else do you guys have? Because I know I've seen your name more places than
And
that.
where is it on the 15?
It's off of, it's on Jefferson between Rancho California and Temecula.
Yep.
Right in that area.
Right?
So,
On your way to the wineries or Galloway Downs, where
yes.
all Riley's soccer games are. That's where I pass it all
That's
the
where you
time.
see it all the time. So yeah, we're on the 15 right there. We're on the 215 in Menifee between Encanto and, the other street escapes me right now, McCall.
Okay.
And then we're in Riverside between Tyler and La Sierra Avenue.
Yeah, that one I've seen many times too. Yeah.
We're out in Colton at the Mount Vernon right before the 215 Redlands 10 split.
Passed that one yesterday.
We're right before there. We actually have a service location in Grand Terrace right off of Barton. That's one of our non-frontage streets. We actually just are opening. We purchased a place in Beaumont right at the 60-10 split there.
So you're everywhere.
So you got a lot.
We got a lot. We
You are
got a
everywhere.
lot. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and we actually have a sister dealership in the state of Indiana, right where most of the RV manufacturers are. So it's a busy business.
I can imagine. Did you guys see a big spike during COVID or the pandemic?
It got crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I thought
got
about it.
crazy.
Like, if we can't go anywhere, then
Yep.
Why not work remote from
Yeah.
an RV?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I really thought about it, and I know I saw a bunch of people on Facebook that actually went through with it.
Well, and I've always been a little bit of a germaphobe. I like my own things. Airbnbs are beautiful and wonderful, and cabins, and I do them and I love them. But I've always preferred my own silverware, my own plates, my own bedding. So with an RV, you have your own
Stuff.
items, and
Yeah.
it's always ready to go.
So you have an RV.
No.
But I'm sure you have had.
Actually, I've never owned one personally, But fortunately, I am lucky. I get to, if I want to use
I was going to say,
yeah, you might
must
not
get
need
some
to
perks.
own one. You might,
Yeah.
you might know a guy.
Yeah. When my dad was alive, it was, Dad, you know.
Can me and my girlfriends borrow that one
Yeah.
on the showroom?
When you're the youngest and the only girl in the family, you get a few perks.
So do you guys sell trailers as well?
We do. We sell trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, Class A's, B's, C's, we run the gamut, tent trailers, pretty much everything we sell new and used. We don't rent. That's a hard liability.
Yeah.
That's a rough. So many times you hear people rent them and you never see them again. You know?
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
they're the one with that one company that has their logo on the side
Right.
of the RV.
Yes.
RentRV.com or something.
Right.
Yes.
We
Those
will
are
find
kind of
her.
hard to miss.
Yeah, they're atrocious to look at. But I could see the liability with renting an RV. I could see that be challenging.
Yeah. And, you know, liabilities are not fun, as you ladies know.
So I spent a lot of time camping and not necessarily in RVs. So I guess I'm just curious at how, I guess, spiffy they are these days. They have like everything you can possibly imagine,
they're
right?
It's insane.
Yeah, Airbnb is on wheels.
I mean, my friend's mom just purchased one, and I think that she intends to like live in it primarily. And I walked inside and I was like, this is legitimately an apartment. It's way nicer than my house, and I will stay there forever.
Fireplace.
Yeah, they've had nicer countertops and things than my
Yeah.
home does. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, the refrigerators are ginormous. We went, my boyfriend has a 10-year-old, so we took her camping and took a fifth wheel. And we had the fireplace, the reclining theater seating with the cup holders and lighted, and the TV pops up, and the kitchen, the refrigerator was literally bigger than my home refrigerator.
Yeah.
It was giant.
It's
Yeah.
like we
An
need an
island in the kitchen.
we need a new word, and like glamping's not it anymore. Like
Right.
it's a step above.
Like luxury.
I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but
No, and
yeah.
I'm the girl that will rent the RV to be delivered to the spot. But I will tell you, the ones that I have rented have been nowhere near what you're describing. I'm guessing they were, because the fridge, I have a family of 5, so going in and seeing this little tiny fridge, like an office fridge, I'm like, how am I supposed to feed 5 people for 5 days with this little tiny thing?
I didn't know they did that. They went and they park them for you.
Yeah, so they park them for you. But the funny thing is, they're like $200 plus a night. So I'm like, you do the math, and you're kind of like, wow, I could have stayed at like a really kind of nice resort,
and have someone clean up.
Yeah, and have someone clean and not dirt getting in, and Wi-Fi. That was my biggest issue. There was no Wi-Fi.
I'm very interested in all this, so I need to try this, because
But it is fun.
for me, there's no in between in what I've done. Like, not that I don't want to do it, but like my experience is legitimately camping.
Well, I
With,
did
tent.
The
with
tent.
a tent on
Wow.
the floor, and like,
Wow, you are a woman.
well, my dad's a big hiker, and like, so he's a big hiker and loves to camp. So I remember when we were little, he'd like take me out to Joshua Tree, and we'd hike around all day, and then like start the little fire, and it, like very much camping, right? Like, so you go back and you're kind of like, I need warm water, like I need a shower.
And there's something very therapeutic about that. Same, my mom and dad are big hikers and campers too. And it wasn't until I had Riley, my oldest, that I transitioned from the tent. Like, I had the tent, and then I had taken Riley, I think she was 5 or 6 months old, and I actually bought the blow-up mattress and brought the comforter, and it was in Lake Arrowhead, and Riley screamed all night long. And I the person that runs the campsite came to me the next morning and expressed the concern of the other campers. And I was like, what would you like me to do, sir? And I remember I'd bought a giant dog bed because Riley was so tiny, and it was this big luxury bed. And so I wrapped her up and put her in that. But that was the last time I stayed in a tent.
Fair.
At that point. It stressed me out. It was freezing. So then I elevated to renting the campers. But, now I'm thinking I'm going to go see Amy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, you don't get the experience. I mean, whether you're in a tent or an RV, camping, you have such a family experience. Like you said, you still have memories.
Yeah.
And roasting marshmallows and going on hikes, and whether you're at the beach or the mountains, there is no replacing that.
Really, I agree.
A hotel is awesome because I don't like cleaning up after myself, but you just don't get those
No, I
memories
agree.
like that.
I agree. And I do think there is something about being able to just pick up and go, make the memories, take the family. We're going to stay in Joshua Tree. We're going to, get us. We used to try to always get spots at Huntington, where you can pull up the RVs and then get to go to the water. And we'd always do it in June with June gloom. So it was we decided that June was not a good month anymore for that. But there is something said. I wish I was more spontaneous. I wish my schedule was a little bit more forgiving to be able to jump in an RV and go. But I do get those ideas, and my husband will catch me on a website, probably yours.
Maybe we should do a CQ road trip.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh,
okay.
That would be
All right. So, Amy, we need your best Richardson RV, and
then Kristen.
Who's driving it?
I was just gonna say, Sam cannot drive, and I'm not driving.
Maybe I should drive it.
I have two people
it.
raising their hand.
Henri can drive it. Meredith will work on our very glittery CQ sticker on the side.
You read me?
And I think we have an idea.
That would be fun. I'm down.
A week in the RV, just go around.
Just make sure we have Wi-Fi.
For sure.
Okay, now Amy, I know you are super close with Go Country and the Go Country family. How did that come about?
This is one of the craziest stories. So, I'm a big country music person anyways. I love country. I love the stories they tell in their songs. And Nancy, our rep, had been talking and asking to advertise, and we just weren't advertising much anywhere yet at that moment. And Nancy had called me one day, and we're chit-chatting, and roundabout. So basically, she knew somebody who my daughter wanted to go see the Ellen show, and we ended up becoming friends. And then as soon as we were ready to advertise, I'm like, hey, Nancy, come and let's do this. That's the place for us to be.
That's awesome.
They're a huge, not persona, but they're a huge, what word am I looking for?
I don't know.
Network. They're like a huge presence.
I'm
much simpler than big words, so I go small.
Okay, so say they're a huge presence.
They're a huge presence in the LA area. So advertising, that is definitely what we wanted to hit and the market we wanted to be in. And Nancy just being the fantastic person that she was and a good friend at that point, we just hit it off, and she makes everything work for us.
We love Nancy. We're big Nancy supporters over here. I know she listens to some of our shows and goes, oh, Kristen, oh, Sam. But, she loves us. We love her. It's mutual. But she's been a huge supporter of us, too. So we're forever grateful for her support and Go Country support. And I think was it last Christmas? Nancy had sent us autographed
Carrie Underwood CDs.
Yes. Was it Carrie Underwood or Mariah Carey?
It was Carrie Underwood.
And we were like, is this for us? Like, it was very, very cool.
She is so sweet that way. That's awesome.
It was very cool.
I did some jumping jacks and a couple laps after that. So thank you.
So we love being part of the Go Country family. We love sharing our morning with everybody listening. And this is a journey we've all been on together. And it's been fun, interviewing attorneys and Amy with Richardson RV and Tim Hurley. And so we hope that you guys are enjoying this experience as much as we are. And if there's anyone that you guys think would be a good guest, feel free to DM us. Feel free to call us at 1-800-419-4777. 4772.
Say the line again.
Call us at 1-800-419-772. No, I feel like I'm saying, okay. So call us at 1-800-419-7772. That's 1-800-419-7772. You can also send us a message on our Custody Queens on Air social media. But we want to hear who you guys want to have on, because, we have a big network, but we want to make sure that this morning is as good for you guys as it is for us. All right, so Amy, if someone was in the market thinking about buying an RV, fifth wheel, whatever you got, how do they reach you? Do they go to your website? Do they call you? Do they message you on social media? What do they do?
So yeah, any and all of the above. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on richardsonsrv.com.
Do you have a number?
We do. 800-858-2288.
Can you say that one more time?
800-858-2288.
And I'm sure you can find all the specials on there too, right?
Absolutely. On our website, we have all our specials going on. We have internet specialists that are fabulous and so knowledgeable. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out. They'll find an answer for you if they don't know it. We've got parts, we've got service departments they can reach out to for you.
Do you have like a showroom? Like when you come, can you like, because I'm a big model home goer, right? And COVID kind of took that away for a while, but getting to go in and like see a home that maybe you're not going to buy, but you're just, you know, oh, this
decorating
room's...
ideas.
Right. So can you do that with RVs?
Yes. So in our Menifee and our Colton locations, we actually have indoor showroom.
Wow.
Our Colton location will hold over 100 units inside. Wow. So when it's, 100 degrees outside, you go in the air-conditioned showroom with the air-conditioned units all opened up, lit up, and awnings out, and they're fabulous just to look at.
So if you want to meet Custody Queen Sam, check out, Richardson's Colton location.
Probably find me.
And you will find her there. If she doesn't show up to work, I'm gonna text Amy and find out what's going on.
Well, I gotta go scope our new RV for our road trip.
Well, yeah, you gotta find what you're traveling in.
All right, now let's get personal, Amy. All right, so we've talked about your business, and I know, to my understanding, I think you were divorced, or you were married, right?
Yes.
Okay, now you're divorced, and you have a new significant other.
I do.
Okay, so, tell us about that. What happened?
Well, and it seems so common to me. I have several friends. We're married almost 25 years, and it's that 25-year mark that seems to be everybody kind of, I don't know if you go through midlife or what it is, but my ex and I, well, my ex more, decided that just being married wasn't his thing anymore. He wanted to be single again. So devastating, of course, in the moment. It's always devastating. We had 2 girls. My youngest at the time had just turned 18. So luckily, knock on wood, I didn't have any custody issues. And we managed to get through that and divorced amicably. He rolled over and gave me everything because he did wrong, but we won't go into that.
So he was in that guilt phase that we've talked about a few times on this show. Sometimes you want to capitalize on it, and sometimes you want to talk to an attorney to make sure you are not in it. That's just a little tip. But okay,
yes.
So you got a good piece of the pie.
I did. I got everything that I should have gotten and then more, to be honest. So
it worked out
great for me.
And I really just want to take a second to say thank you for sharing that, because I know that it is a really common thing and a lot of people go through separation and divorce, but Kristen and I think it's so important to really get out there and share our stories so that we all really realize we're not alone. So in kind of your story, I'm the child of that, right? So my parents were married for 30 years and then they separated when I was a young adult. And, a lot of times people maybe don't understand that those divorces can still be pretty hard on everyone, even though you don't have a custody issue. It's confusing for, myself personally in my story as a young adult kind of navigating that. So thank you again for sharing. It means a lot to me specifically.
And it also normalizes divorce a little bit. Since we've started the show, we've been trying to make it clear that, divorce is not always a bad thing. It may feel like it, like you said, it was devastating in the moment, but it's an evolution and a transition to the next phase of your life. And if people can start looking at it, as not taboo and be more open, it's kind of like, I always compare it to when a woman has a miscarriage and she holds it in and she doesn't share it because it's taboo and we don't talk about it. And then she shares it with one friend and you realize how common it is. It's 1 out of 4 pregnancies. So if we can do that with divorce and make people don't feel ashamed or judged or, like something happened to them, they're a victim, and just really normalize it and, teach people to not be so vengeful and make it such a 4-year process and everything's about emotions, and really kind of do what's best for the kids. And you are lucky that your kids, were 18, but, not everyone's in that situation. And that's kind of Sam and I's goal, is this just get to a point where it's not something they should be ashamed of.
Right. Yeah, and I think that isolation in general and not being able to discuss things with people, for me personally, that's one of the biggest forms of like inner cruelty to myself, is like when you are holding something in and you don't get it out, you don't talk to your therapist or your friend or someone else that's similarly situated, you feel alone. And for me, that's how I shut down. So that's another big part of the show, is just trying to get out there and reach as many people as we can so that everyone really understands that we're all going through similar things. You know, you may have me as your divorce attorney and you may think, oh, well, she's not married, she doesn't know what's going on. Well, that's why I share with you that I was, although an adult at the time my parents separated, but I get it, right? Because I've been there, so I do understand a lot of the things that are happening in your case, and I understand what it's like to be a party to that without actually being the person that gets to make the choice, right? So
yeah, and Sam can share her perspective on, you know, like visitation exchanges, or how do holidays work, or how does it work moving forward if the parents, you know, don't, or they both want to do different things for Christmas, you know. That those are things that, you know, my parents are still married today. I think they've been married a year longer than me. So I'm 41. So they've been married 42 years. And it's definitely been a journey. There's 4 kids. People change, and you either grow together or you grow apart. And it's not a bad thing, either one. And you got one life. And, you know, we want to make sure that you are living your best life. It's not going to happen every day.
No, and it's a process, right? Like, I think everyone in my family got a lot bigger from this, and to its benefit, right? I've talked about my stepdad a bunch. Matt, he's amazing. My dad is my best friend in the whole world, and it worked out, and it will work out. You know, for everyone, just hang in there.
Yeah, and time heals all wounds, whether that's 30 days or 2 years. You know, the process, even if it's just custody or the process of divorce or whatever that transition is, give yourself grace and time. Now, does your boyfriend have like minor children?
My boyfriend does, actually. He has. When we started dating, she was 8. She's now 10. So, and there's a lot of distress and custody issues, and it's hard. It's hard watching her go through it. It's hard watching him go through it.
And then somehow you're thrown in it because you're with him.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
It's hard. You know, you go through divorce, you sometimes, for me, I felt like a failure. You know,
see, that's the stigma that I want to try to change.
Exactly. And you're not a failure. You're a success that you can pick yourself up and keep going.
And you and your ex-husband were married for 25 years and you raised 2 beautiful girls. That is not a failure. It just, I look back at myself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20. I feel like I'm a completely different person in every phase.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you know, I always tell my husband, I said, we have to grow together, because that's when, you know, you start thinking about going different ways. And so you have to laugh together, you have to be friends, but not every couple can get to that point. And that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
I mean, look at even your friendships change over the years.
I'll tell you now, I never imagined I could have the life I have right now with my boyfriend.
So if you could tell Amy 5 years ago, what would you tell Amy?
Oh, I would definitely say, look at the writing on the wall and move forward.
And you will get through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You'll get through it. You're going to be better for it. And everybody tells you that. You know, that's the common thing. Oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But it really, really works out for the best.
It does. And I'll say this every time we're on a show, is everything happens for a reason. But it's really hard to see that reason sometimes. And when you're in that spot and someone tells you, oh, it'll be fine, you know, sometimes you're like, shut up. You know, shut up. Like,
I think there's a quote, and I don't know whose quote it is, so I'm full disclosure there, but there's something that says, like, my world has ended 1,000,000 times, and I've always woken up the next day and started again. And I love that quote, because I think it's so true. I mean, there's been so many times in my life where I was like, oh man, this is it. It can't get worse than this. And it's gotten worse, but it's gotten better too, right, over time.
It does. And you know my quote that I love, Sam, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you are in a high conflict custody situation and you just keep doing the same thing, nothing is ever going to change and your life's not going to change for the better. If you're in a marriage that isn't working out anymore for either of you, then look at your options, seek help, talk to someone, talk to an expert, call an attorney, be prepared for that next step. You can call us at 1-800-419-7772. That's 1-800-419-7772. So thank you, Amy, and all of our Go Country listeners for joining us this Saturday and every Saturday. If you only listen to our show, make sure you go to custodyqueensonair.com and you can watch it. You can see how fabulous the three of us are, and we will have all of Amy's information for the business posted on there. And make sure you check out one of her showrooms.
And don't forget to give us a call at 1-800-419-7772. That's 1-800-419-7772.
And
remember,
let love rule.